Good morning and welcome. I'm Karen, this is Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. I'm struggling this morning because I started the reading and I didn't have it recording. Well, actually, I started it. So, okay, full disclosure. I hit pause to turn on the fan, and then when I hit pause, it I didn't unpause it. I stopped it. So, full disclosure. Anyway, I laid out the cards already. I'm going to use the Phantom Tarot for the reading. Um, Current situation is Knight of Cups, present influence, Emperor, Queen of Coins is in the future influence, Queen of Swords being in the unexpected, Eight of Cups in the challenge, Three of Wands in the strength, and then it goes Ace of Coins, Apotheosis, and Hangman. And I am going to need to pause my video again because I'm going to need my reading glasses on this Apotheosis because it it is in the book, but it's a different card. This deck comes with 3 or 4 extras, and they're all good. So I like the way that leads. It does go to the Hangman after that. So hold on, let me see if I can get this right before I get too far. Hold on. Did I turn it off? Sorry. Okay. Got the glasses just in case. Okay, so let's get started. So the Knight of Cups. Okay, so sorry. King of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. And this feels to me like with the King of Swords being at the bottom of the deck and the Queen of Swords being in the unexpected, I honestly feel like it might be the same energy. There is it's a, it feels to me like I mean, this could be someone with the Knight of Cups being in the current situation, but it feels more like this, I have got this, this is where I'm going. This is how I'm going to get there, blinders, moving forward. But very strong. And it's interesting to me too because we have the Emperor and the present influence. So we have the Knight of Cups Knight of Cups in the current situation, Emperor and the present influence. I feel like it's almost like since the Emperor is the influence, either there is a situation that's coming in with this Knight of Cups. And I feel like it could be an offer that's coming in, and the Emperor to me feels like an old energy. And it's influencing you on how you're going to move forward. It's interesting with the Queen of Coins and the present influence. So let's just take a look at the Emperor first, because I think that's the important energy here with the what is influencing this. I feel like there is, let's clarify. Let's see what it is. Because I feel like there is and it could be part of you just wanting control, but I don't think so. I feel like this is an old energy that may be influencing you to look forward. And with this energy coming in with the Knight of Cups, it's giving it a different, I don't know, a different appeal here. So tell me more about the Emperor. Moon, Sun, and Five of Wands. That is crazy because the moon and the sun and Five of Wands. So why do I think that's crazy? Because the moon and the sun are opposites. And when I say they're opposites, they're not actually, right? But they are as far as the sun is about joy and excitement. The moon is being unclear, not anything. And you are very conflicted. So this is someone that brings uncertainty into your life, also brings joy into your life. And that's why it leads to the conflict, because there is that big piece of uncertainty. But yet at the same time, you're very happy with them. When you're with them or something, there is a lot of joy there. But there's also a lot of unclearness with either the person or with the what they want. There's just an unclear. That's this person. And the reason why I think let's do what the Knight of Cups is, because that will give us a better clue. Because the Knight of Cups, I feel like is someone else, is something else. Not necessarily someone, but I think it's something else or something. Let's tell me what about this Knight of Cups. Let's see what the cards tell us about this Knight of who is this Knight of Cups, or what is this Knight of Cups? What was that? That was the Four of Cups. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. Oh, interesting. Magician, Eight of Swords. Okay, well, maybe it is this person. The reason why I say that is we got the Magician, which can be unclear energy. And there is that Eight of Swords being kind of feeling stuck. And that would make sense with how the Emperor was clarified here. With the sun and the sun, the moon, sun, and then the Five of Wands. There's that's a stuck energy. But there's also what's really happening here. The the judgment, of course, is renewal. So is that a renewal of this? It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it moves forward, but it doesn't have to be a love. So it could be any kind of partnership or situation. Wherever you felt like there was uncertainty in a situation or a person. So the moon to the sun, there's some uncertainty, but there's also a lot of joy there. That's what this is about. And there is a renewal happening here. So whether they come in with a message or they just flat out come in, there's something happening in this current situation in the now here. So tell us about this Queen of Coins. So we've got the Queen of Coins in the future influence. I'm going straight to clarifying it. I usually do that with court cards because, well, it's interesting because we have the Queen of Coins and the future influence. We got the Queen of Swords and the unexpected. The Queen of Swords has that energy of, home, money, even a more feminine energy, boss, but it's usually some kind of stable, and it's usually with the queen, it's usually about home, right? But whatever that energy is, they're very much taking care of what they need to. They're the must haves, the home, the money, the food on the table, all of those things that make your life stable. Tell me more about this Queen of Coins, please. Okay, Hermit, Empress, and Ten of Pentacles. I think like this is you realizing that you have to take. I think it's you. It doesn't have to be a feminine. It can be doesn't have to be a female. It can be a male. But taking care of yourself. You've looked around. You've done your searches with the Hermit. The Empress is that taking care of you. But it goes to the Ten of Pentacles, and I think you're going. This is really important to me. My home, my family, and although you realize that you really need to focus on this area. Let's just say that. And that comes from the search you've put in. And that's that Queen of Pentacles. So you're like, okay, I'm going to focus on myself, my home, my family. That's what I'm going to do right now. And you're not kind of allowing this energy to sway you so much. The Queen of Swords I kind of like, because the Queen of Swords, I mean, if this is unexpected, I feel like this could very well be you saying, this is my expectations. Queen of Swords are very clear in their intentions and what they want. They're very articulate. They don't beat around the bush. And if they're doing anything, they're doing it with great, with their blinders. They're very, this is what I want to do. This is where I'm going to go. And this is how I'm going to get there. And that's it. Right? So tell me about this Queen of Swords, please. Tell me about the Queen of Swords. Well, so there is something, yeah, Hierophant. There's some kind of commitment here. Now this could be work, home, anything. And we got a lot of home stuff going on here in the, but there is definitely a change coming with that Tower. And I feel like this change, I mean, I don't think it makes you single. So even though Nine of Pentacles is an independent card, what I do feel like is I feel like the Queen of Swords is you knowing, um, so there is a change that comes in because there is some kind of commitment you made, and that is changing. It's leading you to understand more about what you have and what you have to offer. This could be work, where so this, keep in mind, this is not necessarily love. This reading feels very much like something important to you, but it also feels very much like it could be something like work with these queens here, because even with this, there's a feeling that there is something that is changing, and it could be hierarchy, and there is a change here, which I feel like is the cause of this Queen of Swords. So I think what surprises you here is that you have more strength than you might believe you do with this Queen of Swords, because when you take on that persona, it's very hard to shake a Queen of Swords. Like, they have their idea, and that's where they're headed, and that's where they're gonna go, and you can't shake them. You can try, but you can't. So I feel like you surprise yourself with your tenacity and your I'm gonna make this work. So we have the Eight of Cups in the challenge. Let's see what it is, because what are you challenged with here? Are you challenged with wanting to walk away from a situation, or are you not walking away? What's the challenge? Nine of Pentacles, Star, Five of Wands. There's that conflict again. Nine of Pentacles, the Star. I almost feel like there is some kind of conflict here that you do need to walk away from, but you're struggling doing so. And it could be this Emperor. So we talk about this Knight of Cups with this Emperor comes in and kind of changes the way you think, but then the future influences that Queen of Coins, which makes you realize you need to focus on home and family and yourself. And then you know that that's important, but there is always that conflict again. Going back to the moon and the sun, unclear, but a lot of happiness here. This is, yeah, I do want to. I feel like you're saying with these cards right here that you want to stay and fight, that you want to really win. So that's why it's struggling you to move into a different direction. However, we do have the Three of Wands in the strength, which I like, which means really what's going to keep you moving in any direction. And it looks like forward is that you understand what's really happening here. So let's take a look at what this Three of Wands is. What is really happening here? What are we understanding? I feel like that's, you're seeing your hard work pay off. That was the Magician that flipped. What we got here with the Three of Wands? Tell me about the Three of Wands. Three of Wands. Okay. What is this Three of Wands? Two of Wands. Queen of Cups. The Tower. So yeah, Two of Wands, having, a path, making plans, mapping out where to go. You've done that. The Queen of Cups, towards what you really love and what is important to you. But you see that that's changed, and you understand that your original map has changed with the Tower, and you see that now. You understand that things are different. It's changed, and it changes your direction as well, because where does this lead? It leads to the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new beginning and really quite a good one. So what is this Ace of Pentacles? What is happening here that's new? I like the Apotheosis card too. We'll talk about that in a second. Tell me about this Ace of Coins here, and where does this lead? Queen of Cups, Justice, Four of Pentacles. So whatever this is that you've been holding on to, you're going to see a new beginning with it. It does have, it's important to you. With the Queen of Cups to the Justice, this is something that's been important to your heart. There has been some balance or something righted here where that's good, but it's you're holding on and hanging in there is what is leading to this new opportunity. I want to know more about the new opportunity. What is this new opportunity? It could be just that. Um, can you tell me what this Ace of Coins is? Six of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Knight of Wands. I think that's you moving away from something. You're done. So the Ace of Coins is you being done healing here. There was a situation where you were, I don't think the give and take was equal. You were healing from that. And this is you understanding it's time for something new with the Knight of Wands, moving forward with kind of a lot of energy here. So, yeah, it's a new opportunity, but more so it's coming from yourself with how you're reacting and what your actions are towards this whole thing. Let's look at what the Apotheosis is. So this is the Apotheosis card in this deck. I'm going to put my glasses on. And it comes at the end, I believe. Is that upside down? Apotheosis means ascending into the light. Oh, I'm still struggling with it. Ascending into the light and the transcendence beyond the material world. It embodies the ultimate realization of, what's my glasses actually, ultimate, I know, realization at one's potential and the culmination of personal evolution. Oh, I like that. This card, okay, yeah, because it's coming from yourself. So if it's coming from yourself, it makes sense that this is you. Oh, my glasses back on. I'm so blind when it comes to reading. Yeah, and spiritual elevation. Okay, you are on the brink of achieving a higher state of consciousness where yourself aligns with your higher purpose. I like that. Your inner power and wisdom are here and alive. Recognize your divine. Yeah, so this, I think this is you recognizing your divine. I think that's what it's leading to. I think because like what I said, I feel like this Ace of Pentacles is really a new beginning on how you're doing things and where you're headed and how you're handling something. And then the Apotheosis makes complete sense, which makes more sense is why it leads to the Hangman on top of that. I don't think I need to clarify the Apotheosis because I think that's an inner thing for you. But we will take a look at the Hangman. What does the Hangman bring us? What is this Hangman? Because I think when you realize what your purpose is and you feel like you have more purpose, when you feel like you're aligned with that purpose, then it makes sense why it might lead to the Hangman, because you might need to take a break, right? And say, okay, well, am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? Tell me about this Hangman. Ace of Wands. I like that. Yeah, Nine of Cups and the Chariot. So that is really good. Now, this is leading to a new opportunity, which does go back to having to do with your dreams and your desires, right? And with the Chariot, there is an energy coming really quickly. And I think what you're doing now with this new energy, Ace of Wands, Nine of Cups, Chariot, you're going, okay, take a moment because I understand what my purpose is now, or I'm getting closer to understanding what my purpose is. So before I jump in with this Ace of Wands and head towards something that I think is my desire, I need to take a stand. I need to think about this for a second. I'm not going to jump right in. And I think that is actually good because you don't want to take away from the healing that you've already done, which makes complete sense. So what is our advice for this reading? Strength. That's all inner strength, understanding yourself as best you can, hanging in there. But I think too, it's not this stand your ground kind of strength. It's just understanding yourself and knowing that things are going to work out because it's headed that way. With the Ace of Pentacles to that apotheosis, that new way of thinking, that new way of doing something that leads to you understanding yourself more. I mean, that's really good energy. And I feel like with this, strength, it's just hang in there, just trust yourself, trust the divine, trust that you can and will do this. I mean, these cards are really great moving forward. Is there anything else we need to know? Yeah, the world. Yeah, the sun and the Seven of Swords, which is fine because I feel like there's definitely a ending of a cycle that is bringing in joy. Now, I think it's also bringing in you kind of taking back what's yours. I'm really curious. I'm just curious. This is really, we're getting to the end of the reading, but I want to read what the Seven of Swords is in this deck. You can hang in with me or not, either way. But I think this will tell us swords. Where are the swords? Cups, cups, swords. 4. All of the decks, I mean, I have so many decks and they all have slightly different meanings. And I kind of like cunning, deceptions, and secrets. Let's see. It says, I lurk in the depths of deception and I drink it all in. I'll do everything in my power to win. Stealthy, even if it means manipulation. Especially if it means manipulation. I love being in the shadows. The surrounding air appears to support me as I get away with shedding my lies. I don't care about the losers. I don't care about the losses others may experience as long as I'm the one that is gaining. But can this really last forever? Yeah, really, right? All of this deception, you tell me. Tread the space carefully. Even if you are winning right now from ceaseless whispering, manipulation, and allowance of your shadows to lead you, you won't be winning for long. I get the feeling, though, more about, I feel like the sun goes to the happiness. I feel like what this is you leading to the answers of anything that you feel like has been deceptive. I really do. Because when I first saw these cards, I wasn't thinking anything negative here. And usually I have a pretty good intuition. And the Seven of Swords to me, I like that meaning. I think that's kind of fun. And I do believe that the Seven of Swords is a lot of deception. But I'm always reminded, is the deception on purpose or not? And sometimes absolutely it is. But sometimes it's not. Because sometimes people are holding back because they don't want to let things all out. I would say, too, that with it going from the world to the sun, that you're bringing in joy into yourself. I think that you may be getting your own answers regarding anything that has felt deception or you have felt has been deceived you. Because we've had some of those cards along the way, too. There's been deception and we've had those readings. So we know this, but we are not going from happiness to deception unless you're deceiving yourself and saying that you're happy when you're not, which very well could be. And that's just something to, be very careful of as you move forward through the situation. Don't deceive yourself into thinking, like if you're, trying to look at a situation differently and the apotheosis comes in and you're working through that, there can always be that time where you want something so bad that you're making it to be something that it's not. You're making it better than it is tended to be, or vice versa. When you're really like stressed or anxious, sometimes we can blame someone else, or we get nervous and we think something and we're deceiving ourselves and saying, oh, this is happening to me because, or this person doesn't like me, or, all of these things. And I'm keeping it really light here, but we could be self-deceiving. And I think that if anything, that could be a warning here, is be careful of that. We all do that. When we get really excited about something, and let's say we get a job where we're offered a lot of money, we might right away think, oh, this is going to be better for me because it's going to be more money. But am I just fooling myself? Or I don't want to leave this because, everybody here likes me. Am I just fooling myself? Not that the people don't like you, but is that why really I'm staying? Or am I just in fear of finding a new job? So it's those kind of self-deceptions that could be happening. Up to you. So there you have your reading for this Sunday. I hope you liked it. Take care. Have a beautiful day.